Good morning, everybody. This is Doris Ptolemy. I always say calling here. Anyway, I am here today with Miss Taylor Schrom. I don't know if I said that right.
Close enough.
Close enough. Anyway, Miss Taylor is all the way from Nashville, and she's going to share her story today with us. And this is our take two. Our first one, the video didn't work, or her volume didn't work, so not sure what happened there. But anyway, Taylor has a great little story for us. And when I met her the other day and we had a great conversation, I thought this would be a perfect live for all you young people out there and to listen to, what she had to do to get to where she's at right now. So, Ms. Taylor, have at her.
Yeah, so hopefully the audio works this time around. I guess
Me
we'll
too.
compare it. But yeah, my name's Taylor. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in my late 20s, 27, single. I have a dog. She's my best friend, so it's kind of my life. But we thought it would be interesting for me to share my story just because I kind of like most people just went through life kind of taking the steps and doing the things that I'm supposed to do and ended up in a great job and just kind of realized, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. And so I did some reevaluating and went out on my own and just, I think it's valuable to share stories about that sometimes. So a little bit about my background. I was raised in Northern Virginia, DC area, came to Nashville for college. I went to Vanderbilt and studied film. So that led into my first career in animation. I loved the creative world. I loved being behind the scenes and making really beautiful work and videos that empowered people and things like that. And it was awesome. It was a family-owned company, very small. I don't regret for a minute being there. I learned so much and I grew so much professionally from my season there. But after spending about 4 or 5 years investing in that career, it was a small family-owned company. And so we had never had like a plan. And I remember my bosses called me in their office and they were so excited because they had a career ladder for me and they kind of showed me where I was on it and where I would go over the next 10 years, 15 years or longer. And I remember they meant to inspire me, but I was actually really discouraged because it was the first time where I saw on paper where the most I'd ever be worth to them. And I also realized I already was feeling stressed out all the time and overworked and underpaid, and I'd feel guilty every time I left the office a little early. And I just had a different childhood. My family were entrepreneurial parents for me, and so they were around all the time. My dad drove me to school in the morning. He'd have an after-school snack on the table for me every single day. Never missed an afternoon snack. My mom took me to swim practice. They were there, and every year we went on vacation, and it was usually a nice vacation. And I'm lucky to be pretty well traveled, and I just started to sit there looking at this new career ladder and the fact that I'd be in an office all day, really stressed, worth this at most. And I thought, how do I do this and have that life? How do I, when I have a family one day, how do I take them on vacation? And how do I pick them up from school after school? And how do I afford anything and have that time freedom? And I just realized something wasn't adding up. So I sat with that just to try and be wise about my next move for about a year. And there's a local entrepreneurial class I took. I thought about going into the food industry because that sounded really romantic and fun, but very time consuming. And so I explored that whole idea for a while. I called franchises. I thought about opening up like a fitness franchise. And then one day I talked to my mom, so my mom's been in direct sales for 30 plus years.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, she's worked from home for most of my childhood. And it's funny, if she had approached me, I think I would have just told her no, because I'm stubborn and I just would have said no. But my dad's the one who approached me. And he said, Taylor, you really should talk to your mom. You've never really asked her about what it is that she does. And he shared with me, obviously I already knew kind of the time and financial freedom side of it. And I always kind of assumed, hopefully my mom doesn't see this, because my sister and I always said, like, we don't really know what mom does, but like, that's our plan B if all else fails. Because But what he shared with me was really kind of the life impact. Like, he shared that she's working with a lot of women and helping them have, this freedom too. But, when you do that, you kind of become marriage counselor and you become financial planner and you get to really do life and ministry with these people. And
yes,
I just realized when I was talking with my dad, and then when I finally sat down and talked with her from a business perspective, I realized, I was always too prideful to talk to her about this, but this actually is all of the things that I'm looking for wrapped up in something that I didn't really expect. And the rest was history. Mm-hmm.
That's so like I loved your story because you're 27 years old. You've basically just started, which is amazing, and you didn't wait like most of us till we're 50 and realize, okay, this job hasn't done the things that I thought it was going to do, working for them for somebody else and stuff. So I'm really impressed with that. I'm impressed that your generation will see how important it is to really go find something else besides just going to your 9 to 5 job, because nobody can live on that kind of income unless you're way up there, executive, blah blah blah, but that's not going to happen to the normal person, right?
Yeah.
So I'm impressed that you even listen to your mom, or you listen to your dad. I think maybe your mom and dad had probably knew you better talk to her instead of me because she won't listen to me, right? I bet you that conversation was there.
You're absolutely
right. So dad talked to you instead.
Yeah.
But like, good on them. And like, I'm really proud of you and impressed of what you've done already, going to school, doing a few things, checking things out instead of just staying where you were. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about a little bit about what business you got into and how that has enriched your life, because we all know that in this industry, when you have your own business, you learn a lot of things from people. So go ahead.
Yeah. So my family and I work with a manufacturer called Melaleuca. It's a major manufacturer where basically we spread the word about an online store, manufactures 450 products. We've shopped here since I was 10, so it's been a really great blessing for us just as a customer too, but also from a business perspective. I've learned so much. I mean, just, for me, first off, and this is something I think regardless what company you work with, you end up developing some really great skills.
Yes.
I realized from my job as a company, every single Monday we would sit around a table, and there are 8 to 10 of us, and we would talk about what we did over the weekend. And every single time for years, every single Monday, even though these were basically family to me, my voice would shake. And I realized, like, wow, like I have completely lost the ability to do any sort of public speaking. Like, that muscle, I'm not using it. So that's something I've really noticed. I go to a networking group of 60 people every week, and I stand up every single week and present for 30 seconds. And just having that daily rhythm and practice, you develop skills like that, communication skills that I had started to lose. I've learned a lot of like discretion and kind of like business principles and things to look for. Like how my family has shopped here since I was 10. I think the biggest thing to look for is that at the end of the day, it all comes down to product, and you can sell hype all day long, but at the end of the day, hype fails. And it's lasting. I think it's a matter of reflecting and thinking, am I here to get rich quick and make a quick buck, or am I here for the long term? And if you're here for the long term, that comes down to the product. And hope and things like that are wonderful, but it all comes down to having a really strong product that a customer is going to buy consistently, and having consistent real customers buying real products, and not just as a facade. And I've learned a lot of important questions to ask in order to discern if a company has that or doesn't have that, which I think is just really useful to kind of to have that wisdom and not just follow the next shiny penny. And I've also learned from a leadership perspective a lot of patience, and that you can't make someone work. When you become a leader.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That's been my biggest lesson, is that I can want something for someone so bad, and they can want the idea of it, and I can do the best training I've ever done, and I can follow up with them really well, but if they're not going to work, they're not going to work. And that's a hard lesson to learn, but you have to learn the hard way sometimes, and let people who have the most potential and the biggest why not show up to work, not let that impact you.
Yeah.
It's been a tough one. So.
Well, like I said, I'm really impressed with what you've done and you know, what you're learning and stuff and being able to share that with others. And like you had earlier said, you know, it can also be your ministry, right?
Yeah.
And you had told me a little bit about something about you're asthmatic, right? Or
Yeah.
and had problems with stuff at home.
Mhm.
So your mom got into Melaleuca and that helped you quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I had asthma as a kid, so I was on a nebulizer. I was diagnosed at 2, and
Oh, wow.
all through my childhood, like I would, if I got a cold, I would, miss school for 10 days. So right before my mom learned about Melaleuca, I actually almost got held back. I had straight A's, but the school sent my family a letter that they were considering holding me back because of attendance issues because I was missing so much school because it was just like a snowball every time I got sick. So we learned the importance of like getting bleach out of the home and the impact that can have on your lungs, and things like that. Is my computer glitching on you, or am I still
No,
coming?
no, you're still coming through great.
Okay, good. So that was huge for me. There's been a lot of blessings for us from a health perspective from shopping here. Like I've never had a cavity. We have toothpaste that doesn't have sugar in it. A lot of people don't realize that they brush their teeth with sugar. So my mom always says, like, if nothing else, shopping here has saved her on dental bills. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So what I'll do is, you know, if anybody's interested in connecting with Taylor, you know, I urge you to, especially if you're young people out there. And we're just going to put her Facebook link and whatever she has on the feed here, and you can connect with her and learn more about what she's doing. And yeah, you know, she could be in your area. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so I want to thank you, Taylor. It was really great of you sharing, and I'd love for you to come back if there's anything that you want to share, you know, business wise and what you're doing, or you know, something new that you found out there, you know, to help it, us women in business and encouraging people. Love to have you back. So I want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much. Happy to
You
be
bet.
here.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right.